Yeah, welcome. I'm your host, Jesse Sawyer, nationally recognized inclusive fitness trainer, silver sneaker flex instructor. You can find out more about me. Visit my website, www.jessesawyer.com. As you notice, as I walked on in, carrying my water bottle, you probably see my slides, my flip-flops. So you can tell that this is going to be a relaxing exercise routine. In fact, it's going to be a part one of a part two series where we're going to be working on 5 different types of stretches, and then we're going to have a part 2 to that. We're going to work on 5 other stretches that's going to help, one, improve range of motion and reduce some discomfort in those joints as we age, whether it be in the back, the shoulders, the legs, and hopefully you're able to adapt with me and you're able to do all these exercises with me. Again, this is part 1. This is a 5 stretch exercise routine. And again, I'm your host. Now, Funkified Maniacs worldwide across the globe, Silver Sneaker members, new members, YouTube subscribers, Facebook live streamers. I can't concentrate. I have 2 dogs barking in the background. You might be able to hear them. I do apologize. I think they went to play. They're not out here. They're in the back, and we're out front. So let's just get to it. There's a few things I need to go over before we get started. 5 things. If you're feeling lightheadedness, pain, dizziness, discomfort, or fatigue, hit the pause button. Come back a little bit later. The other thing is the virtual 5. You should always consult with your physician before engaging in any physical activity program. By participating in this online exercise with me, you assume all dangers, hazard, risks of such participation. Exercises demonstrated by the instructor in this online class can be demanding. If you're able to see how people perform these exercises, please modify them and choose a different set of exercises. Number 2, now remember, you can always fast forward through all this, but number 2, I can't see you, I can't hear you, so this is your first time. Please pay attention to everything that I do. Sit on the edge of that chair if you're in the seated position, because these are seated exercises. Tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone, chest out, shoulders up, back and down. Ears over shoulders, lengthen and elongate that spine. Relax those shoulders. You want to depress those shoulders. You want to engage them. You want to depress them and relax them and retract them so that you're in that nice, neutral, good posture position. Again, tuck belly, tuck tailbone, edge of the chair. Anchor those feet, toes over knees, knees over hips, hips over shoulders. And again, enjoy the journey. Breathe in throughout. That's number 3. Breathe in, inhale, exhale. 4, ready to proceed exertion. 1 through 3. 3 being the low, 3 being the high, 1 being the low, 2 being relaxed. You're confident. You're breathing a little bit more. You're a little more energized. Muscles energized. Blood's flowing and pumping. Oxygen. Yeah, you're getting enough of it. Now, if you get to that 3 and you're overreaching, although there's no such thing as overreaching when we're doing stretching, but overreaching and falling out of the chair, overreaching and falling forward in that protraction phase. You want to stay with control throughout those movements and get a nice good stretch throughout with that breathing intact. And then number 5, hydrate throughout. Pay attention, ready to proceed with exertion, and let's go. First 5 of this 2-part series. Number 1, it's going to be ear to shoulder. Now, we've done this plenty of times before. However, I'm going to add an adaptation to it. So I'm just going to kind of relax those hands down to the side. I can put them right here on the knees if I want. And I'm going to take that right ear and I'm just going to take it to that right shoulder. So in the process is I am stretching, right, that left side of the neck. And I'm holding it, but I'm in a relaxed state, and I'm going to come back up to the top. So now clearly, we've done this plenty of time, where this is just a side bend, a neck side bend. We're calling it ear to shoulder. And then you come back up. Now, for those that want to advance this motion, watch what I do now. So now I'm going to take it over. But now I'm going to raise this hand, right, this right hand, and I'm going to grab the top of my head, my ear, my forehead, and I'm just going to pull over. And I'm going to just stretch it a little bit more. And again, I'm trying to stay in that nice upright position, but I'm trying to stretch a little bit more. And I can feel that stretch on that left side a little bit more, and I come on up. Now you can always use that left hand as well and push over as I go to that right side. I can always push this way, but it's a little easier to take that right hand and pull over, because you can stay in that upright position. You're not pulling yourself that way. You're still trying to stay in that. You're just pulling the head down, closer to the shoulder, and you get a nice stretch. And then you come back up to the top. So whatever we do on that one side, on that right side, we want to do on that left side too. So we're going to do a side bend, or that ear to shoulder bend, left ear, left shoulder, nice and upright. You're going to hold that for about 15 seconds. Nice deep rest, and then you're going to come back up to the top, and you're going to do the exact same thing again. You're just going to drop it down again. Nice good stretch. Now the advanced level, as we've done this before where we've done a side bend with that neck, is you're going to come up to that top, and you're going to grab with that left hand. As you drop down, you're going to grab and you're going to pull. Nice and easy though. You just want to try to get an extra stretch. You're not trying to pull yourself over this way. You're still trying to stay in that upright position. You're just trying to tuck that ear farther into that shoulder. And you're getting a greater stretch on that right side right now. And again, it's another 10 to 15 seconds with that hold. And then you're coming back up to the side. Release. If again, you're feeling lightheadedness, dizziness, discomfort, any pain, or any fatigue, you want to stop. And then again. Or if you're at home and you're going to that left side, but you don't have the ability to use that left hand because you might have an injury, so then what you can do is you can drop and you can always push with that right side. The only difference is, and I would warn against that, or be careful with that, is sometimes when you're pushing from the opposite side, you have the tendency to push yourself way far over to the side, where in this case you don't, because the elbow's kind of stopping you with how far you can actually go and stretch that neck region or that clavicoid muscle throughout that runs through the neck into the sternum. So that's number one. We're going to go to part two, and I know I just said that all wrong. The sternoclavicoid sternal muscle. It's something like that. Look it up. These are uncut videos. Number two, we're going to do a chin to chest neck. So this is going to have an adaptation as well. We've done this as well, where we're just flexion of the chin to the chest. Just like this. Right? You get your flexion, taking it back farther, you get a little more extension, and you're flexing the chin into the chest. You're going to come on up. You're going to do the exact same thing. Again, another easy exercise. As I turn to the side, you can really just see I'm just kind of really staying in that neutral, nice and tall position, and I'm just trying to flex that chin into the chest. So now to get a little more range of motion, what you can do is you can take both hands, put them right back here, and then push forward. And I'm just trying to roll my neck now and roll that chin into the chest. And what's happening as I do that 10 to 15 seconds is not that I'm putting pressure on the chin that's going to the chest. I'm stretching the back of that neck. I'm stretching those cervical spine. As I do that again one more time, as I push, I'm feeling that in the back of that neck. So as I push forward and that chin goes into the chest, I'm not stretching my chest. I'm not stretching my chin. I'm stretching the back of the neck where it starts rounding. And where it concaves most of the time. So right now, as we do this, we're taking that neck and we're convexing it. Be careful as you release and you come on up. You will feel some of that discomfort, especially if you're not used to flexing or getting more flexion of the neck region where it actually concaves and you're kind of convexing it with that motion. We're going to go to number three. Again, if you can't put those hands back there and do it, then you're just going to do that chin to chest. The next one we're going to do is going to be the behind the back stretch. All right? Behind the back stretch. So I'm going to lean up or sit up on the edge of that chair. And when I say behind the back stretch, I'm just going to relax those hands down to the side. I've just had them here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them behind the back. But I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to take that one. And I'm just going to take it back behind. And I'm going to just try to go up my back. I will turn and I will show you exactly what I'm doing momentarily. So as you can see, my arm has disappeared. It's going straight up the spinal column as I sit on the edge of that chair. And this is my right-sided arm. So what I will do is I will turn that chair, or I will turn around so that you can see the different sides. So I'm going to turn to my left here. So you can see as my right hand drops down, my right hand goes back behind the back, and then it starts going up through the spine as I sit in that neutral position. Now, this works shoulder mobility. It works this entire part right here, that rotator cuff, that glenohumeral joint. And some of you might only be able to get your hand down to here. You might not be able to go up the middle of that spine because of discomfort or lack of range of motion. As I turn fully around, you'll be able to see that motion now as well. And again, this is my right hand, and I'm just going to take it behind me, and then I'm just going to walk it up through it, as you see, right, just like that. Again, some of you might be down here when you do this. You might not be able to go back up. You might not be able to go through between those shoulder blades, and this is your goal. Try to stretch through and improve that range of motion and that mobility of that shoulder. Some of you might have lost that. You might be right here and you're feeling some discomfort. You take it where you can and you move where it's tolerable. So don't go past the intensity level that doesn't feel good, where you get more dull, achy feeling, or you just don't have that range of motion. It's a continuation. It's a continuation of working through it and improving upon it. Now we want to go to that left side, so I'm going to take that left arm, and my left arm is a little harder. You're going to notice that when I turn fully around, as I can actually feel this right now, really through that shoulder capsule, and in fact, in the back of my arm, that rear, that rotator, and that rear delt, that side lateral delt, I'm really feeling that. I will turn again to that right as I stretch this out. I just kind of let it hold there. And you can see I don't close the gap as much here. With the other side, I was actually closing the gap. I didn't have like light. You can see light right here. Rest it down, shake it off. I can really feel that side. Now, the real goal is to have symmetry. When I say symmetry, that both sides go in the same place each time. So if one side is down low and it can't go higher, it's okay, as long as the other side is doing the exact same thing. Now, if the other side is going up a little higher than the left side or right side, whatever side you're going, that means you don't have symmetry. That means one side's off. That means you have a deficit. And on this, clearly, I have a deficit. As I try to take my arm up, I cannot, and you're going to see that when I turn. And again, I'm feeling the discomfort, but I'm making sure that it is tolerable discomfort. It's not pain. Might be a little achy. No dullness. And we gotta just try to hold that. And now as I turn and I stand and I do that behind the back pose, you're going to see the difference from my right side to my left side. Here's my right side as I struggle to really get it up between the shoulder blades. As you can see, it's hitting that right shoulder blade, but I cannot get it in between the shoulder blades. It means my left side has some deficit. But it doesn't mean that I can't do this exercise with you. So as you're seeing, I try to go up the spine. I'm trying to get a little higher each time, and I'm really stretching this region to improve mobility. And I'll show you that right side again as I shake it off. Right side, watch what it does, right? Looks pretty good. Left side, I can't get up as high. I have some deficit. You might as well. So do your best to try to improve that mobility. That was exercise 3. That was behind the back. We're going to go to exercise 4 next, and we're going to do a little bit of rounded shoulders just to try to take off that discomfort that we just felt behind the back. So that rounded shoulders, you just kind of have your hands right here, and you're just going to round them. And when I say round them, all you're doing is bringing those elbows into the rib cage, and then when I round them out, I'm just taking those elbows and I'm flaring them out and I'm rolling my back. So I'm convexing it, head up, concave it. Convex, and then concave. So it's almost like I'm spinning my hands. I'll show you as I turn to the right. Really good stretch. You see me rounding my back, and now I'm straightening that back out. Taking these hands, I'm kind of just turning them, flare those elbows out, roll it back. Chin and head can drop. Just make sure it don't go below the heart. Or you'll get orthostatic hypertension and you have that blood pressure that can drop. We're going to do that one more time. Round it. And then pull it back. So as you round it, a couple of places you might feel. You might get the mid back, you might get the upper back, and you actually might feel that lower back as well, get a stretch, especially coming off that behind the back stretch, which probably the majority of you all struggle with, including myself. And then we want to go to number 5, all right? We're going to do that cross stretch. So since we did the, behind the back stretches. We did the rounded shoulder. and back stretch. I'm going to cross that chest. So I'm going to take that left hand, I'm just going to cross over, and I'm just going to drop it right here and hold it. I'm going to add an add-on to this, because we're doing a cross stretch. Drop it down. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're just crossing over, and then you're just dropping it down. So you can lift it up, you can take it down. And what you're doing is you're working on just that mobility of the shoulder and that joint as you cross it over. Now as we take that right hand, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just coming over to that left shoulder, dropping it down right in that midline, and then we're taking it up. And dropping it down, and taking it up. Take it back. Come on across. As you can see, I'm sitting in a nice upright position, and I'm just lifting up, and then I'm going to go back to that left side, and now watch what I do. Cross, and now I'm going to take that right hand and I'm going to pull it through. And I'm going to pat myself down. So I pulled it through a little bit more. Again, this is great for that postural side of the shoulder, and it might even hit some of that anterior side, but it's really stretching through this area right here and that postural side. So it's really trying to pull you through as you do it and rest it down. Come across, lift it up, right hand hits that elbow, and then you're pulling to that right side with that left hand, and you're staying in a good, nice, upright position. So I'll show you a little bit different on that right side. As you cross over, left hand goes here, and you can open up, you can take your hand off the shoulder. As you see, I took my hand off the shoulder and pull through, and now you can really reach as you go, and you hold it, drop them down, or you can keep it right here on that shoulder, lift it up, grab with that left hand, and then just slide, right? You see, slide them, and it disappears behind me, so it's showing up on the other side. And I'm really just pushing it through. Like that. You see the hand. You can see the hand really push through. It's almost choking me out. And again, it's a nice cross stretch of the shoulder. You're going to feel some of that chest stretch. You're going to feel some of that postural stretch. And there you go. 5 stretches. Try to improve mobility, the shoulder region, the back region, the wrist, you name it. Increase your posture, increase your life, and your livelihood, and your independence. All here. From that foot to that door, from the window to the wall. My heart, your heart, may that light beat always. Land 2 feet, like your back. Peace, my friends. Part 2 coming up next.